Fantastic. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another ASEA Global Expansion Team Zoom. Tonight we have David Stratansky and Mark Deck joining us to recap what we learned at convention. So convention was an absolute home run. It was by far the most incredible convention that I've been to in 13 years of building this business. So what we're going to do tonight is recap what we took away from the convention, kind of recreate it a little bit for you in as best we can. Of course, we can't recreate that experience. It's something you have to experience by being there or by watching virtually, which is the next best thing. So if anybody that attended live can watch the virtual ticket for the next 30 days. And anybody that had just purchased a virtual ticket can also continue to watch that virtual ticket or watch it over and over and over again for 30 days until they cut it off. And so there were the general sessions, general admission, and the recognition was broadcast live. The breakout sessions and obviously the pickleball, tai chi, yoga, fireside chats, those will not be broadcast. However, some of them are recorded and will be available in the future. So anyway, let's get started. I know, Mark, that you attended. This is your second convention, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So tell us one thing that you took away from the whole thing. I know that you were very good about arriving on time and staying till the end and, attending every session. And so what's just one of the things that you took away from attending convention this year?
The networking was really good this year. Much more powerful than last year. And I was able to connect with a lot of people and gain some insight from that. The big thing that I took from it, and again, from Tyler, and Tyler's got this gift of speaking, was the we on the opening night. I mean, the power of the we and how he talked about the we and the W arms going up towards heaven and then turning into the me and going down. That to me was probably the most powerful thing there was in the whole thing. And there was so much. When I did the science thing, there was Sean there, and with his PTSD and a soldier and stuff, and how he's used the redox and the cell performance, and that he's able to sleep and dream again. And that brought tears to my eyes. And then the third one was when we did our group thing and we went out to dinner, and everybody stood up and told themselves about that stuff and the camaraderie. I mean, it was just powerful.
Yeah. So what he's referring to is Tyler in his talk, the brand promise is we, power, potential. And so he really broke down the word we and put his hands up in the air and says, no, if you notice a W, the arms reach up to the heavens. And if you make a me, it's all about me, 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 then the arms reach downward. And so we is much more positive and much more powerful than me. That was the point of the whole thing. And that's what Mark is referring to. And we had a team dinner. That's the other thing that he's referring to. And at our team dinner, we all got to know each other. Everybody that attended convention is a leader in my mind. If people make convention a priority, then those are the people that I'm going to work with. And so that's you'll see some of those people on the screen tonight. Those people made it a priority, even though there was lots of other things going on in their lives. They, took off work, they put aside money, they made reservations, they, made it a priority. And so they were there in person and, at their expense and, committing their time. So yeah, fantastic. Hey, David, I know that you were there and you were, you had all kinds of notes that you took from attending. What specifically do you want to go over tonight?
Well, I think you asked me if I would share a little summary that I put together, just a few bullet points of each, kind of the key ideas that were in each session. So I can certainly do that, or I could speak to the key things that were for me. So
yeah, speak from your heart, and then if we have time, we'll go over a more analytical side of it. But just from your guts, what did you take away?
Sure. Well, so like the little recap I put together, or the list, and I could go down through any one of those, and I think every one of those individual things was very big for me. Um, Certainly, seeing this company in action and seeing them pull a presentation from 2 years ago about things they said they were going to do, and then updated us on what they did. And they were able to check off all those boxes, not necessarily on the exact schedule they suggested back then, but they put together a plan and they execute on it. And now they've filled in another gap that takes our business to the next level, which is the business piece. How do we get information into our contacts' hands effectively as possible, so that they have all the information they need, so that it's much easier for us to build directly as well as on social media. So that was a big piece, just to see them, or specifically Tyler, check off all those boxes on things that they had discussed 2 years ago in Nashville. The other thing that was big for me was the keywords discussion in both Hunter Dean and Tyler. Went over this, and I've actually transcribed both of their wording, and I'm going to compare them, and I'm going to put them into a set of words that I can use. As a left brain engineer, I tend to say too much. So I'm trying to simplify what I say and limit my introduction, and then refer to a tool. And now I feel like I have the words that I can do that with. I also appreciated the parallel to those keywords on the self-performance or on the powered by Redox side. So the keywords that they went through in the main session were more on the ASEA Redox supplement and the Renew 28. But on the self-performance side, there's also keywords there that are parallel, which will help me make those distinctions with people when people say, what's the difference between the two? Also very much enjoyed the store layout, the experience of ASEA. At one point, I realized I was there, and I'm a pickleballer. I love to play pickleball, and we're playing pickleball. And I'm like, I'm at a ASEA convention and I'm playing pickleball. I should be meeting people. But I realized that I met more people probably through being around that event, that exercise, than maybe I would have if I were sitting in the convention halls, learning from a presentation. So I really enjoyed that whole environment and the way they set that up and gave us the freedom and time, and the schedule wasn't too packed. So we had time to talk to people in between, instead of, rushing to per se to get a meal and then get back to a next session, which in the past, sometimes the schedule's been pretty tight. From a more personal perspective, I think the biggest impact presentation that I keep reminded of is something that Zoltan Varney shared. He shared some information about building in challenging times. And what I took away from that and the way he presented it was that if there's challenging times in your head, if there's a mindset of lack or challenges that, you make assumptions of what people think, you're always going to have challenging times in your business. So if you don't have your mindset on straight, and you don't believe that you can operate and be successful in this business, no matter what's going on in the outside world, then you're probably going to have challenges. So I really appreciated his comments. I've copied down the wording that he has said over and over and over to himself as he was building a diamond and a triple diamond, and now I think an ambassador diamond to some level. I'm not sure exactly the level, so I apologize, Zoltan, for not knowing that. So I'm going to model that. My big two things are say less and make sure I keep my mindset straight. And those were kind of the two things that I took from that. So
fantastic. Yeah, one of the things he said was that his sister thinks everybody's broke, and her worldview that she's bringing into her conversations is that she's broke. And so because she has no money, she thinks nobody's going to pay for these products. They're way too expensive. But, then you go to the watch store, and there's watches that are $100,000, starting at $100,000, and they can't keep stock. Everybody's buying them. So, it's not that people don't have money. It's that, her mindset isn't allowing her to have abundant conversations. So yeah, fantastic. So Peg Coates, I know that you have attended many conventions. And so I think this is the 13th one for you as well. And I don't know about how it handled for you, but this one blew me out of the water. So Tell us it's something that you're taking away from this year's convention, and you're on mute right now.
Well, boy, there's so much. Melting it down, I think one of the things that I am absolutely over the moon excited about, Cindy, is the app. The new app that we've got, the tools that we were given to go back. It'll be launched October 2nd, but it's going to give us the opportunity to really very rapidly give our customers, our associates, the opportunity to make the choices they need. They'll be informed. We have incredible new landing pages coming out. The app is going to give them information. They can learn about it. And right there, they can decide, do they want to buy it? Will they subscribe to it? They can enroll right on the app. I think it's really lovely that we don't have to walk them necessarily through it. One of the points they made is that people are buying online all the time now, and you don't walk people through Amazon and, show them everything. They go in, they get the information, they make their order. And that's basically when they do that, Cindy, that it's going to be already booked on our back office. It goes, if they're signing up as an associate, they'll be placed in the place where we're asking them to be placed in the placement tree. They're going to go right on there. Whatever they purchase is going to be credited in our volume. I just think that is magnificent. And one of the things that excited me about it, besides how incredible it is the fact that it is exclusively an ASEA tool. There are no other network marketing companies right now that have this kind of a powerful tool. And I just think that is going to be a great conversation to have with people that are already experienced network marketers in other companies where their technology may be kind of walking along and not really moving. This streamlines our ability to really get information to people, to give them some suggestions that they can edit easily. The other thing I think
Before you go to another thing, Peg, let me just go on to Sean, because it's already halfway through the time. I mean, this time just burns by. So Sean Everett, I know this was your first convention, I think. Is that true, Sean?
That's right, Cindy.
My pleasure,
Cindy.
What was your experience like? And were you happy that you spent the money and the time?
Are you kidding? It was amazing. I mean, you really come in. You really come out of this being a very, very different person. I mean, my key takeaway, if I can just sum it up in one word, the whole convention, I think, redefines what the word energy really means. And it's so broad. I mean, the energy of the folks that you meet, the energy of the leadership, and how it is a high energy molecule and high energy products that can really make a difference. And also the energy that happens after the meetings. My wife and I are so humbled just to be part of it. And I think we'll make it a point to always come to conventions in person as much as we can. And just being able to see ASEA, think about it like having an acquaintance, right? And then all of a sudden you spend a whole weekend, you meet the family, you meet their cousins, and then you come out of that get together and you tell yourself, why didn't I try to get to know them a lot sooner? So we're just so excited. So thank you for the time to be able to share.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so true. We are one big happy family. There's no, oh, I can't talk to you because you're not in my line, and I'm not going to share advice with you because I'm not going to make any money from you. And there's none of that. Did you sense, well, I shouldn't say there's not. Did you sense any of that when you were there for the first time?
No, everybody was just so generous. Everybody was so great. Even made some new contacts, new friends, and so it's been wonderful. So.
Yeah, it's Trish Winkler often says you got to be there just to take this energy bath, just to bathe yourself in the ASEA community, because it's so hard to put into words. The experience is something you have to feel, and you feel it deep in your cells, and it's not something that you have a lot of thoughts. but it's the feeling that you take away, just like, wow, this is
Yeah.
so flippin' powerful, right?
It is. You are right. It is
Yeah,
powerful.
excellent. Maurice, I know it was your first convention, well, with ASEA, not your first convention in your life, not your first network marketing convention, but it was your first ASEA convention. So were you glad that you went? Were you glad that you invested the time and the money to go?
Oh, absolutely, Cindy. I think the convention was just confirmation of what you've always been telling me about ASEA, about the culture of the company and how special it is. And I see why when I looked at Chuck Funky and Tyler's presentation and how they just edified each other that whole time. Like I understood the foundation of what you have been telling me for the last few months that I have been associated with ASEA, and how it's really not about the money. Like this company is special. They've created something very unique, I think, in the network marketing space, and I can see it lasting for a very long time, because the culture is so grounded on something of substance. It truly is about relationships with people, not achieving a pin level per se. And I could really see that displayed in the friendship between Tyler and Chuck. So that was just that stood out the most to me.
Yeah. What about the fabric of the family? I mean, you know, what I love about this family is that we have tall people and short people, and, you know, white people and black people. We have people from America, from Australia, from South Africa, from, you know, New Zealand. We have people that have done network marketing, that have never done network marketing, that love network marketing, that hate network marketing, but now they love network marketing. I mean, there's people from everywhere, right? Did you get to know people from all walks of life?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I met several people while I was there. And it was, like I said, it was just everything you said it would be. You know, when you were telling me about the culture, initially I'm like, well, everyone says that about their network marketing company, but no, I could see it for myself this time. It's the real deal.
Absolutely. Well, let's go back to Mark Deck. You know, Tyler says that if we don't do our job well, people will suffer. So did you hear some product experiences while you were there that really moved your heart and encouraged you to, you know, be courageous and speak up to people, even if you're a little nervous or a little scared sometimes?
Oh yes, this being the second one, it's helped me. In fact, I think I got 2 people just on the lift drives in the last 2 nights and stuff, opening up and telling them what we're doing. And I feel like I got this calling that I've got to share it. And it's kind of weird that it looks like it's just opening up, and the confidence I got off of it. You were talking about the downlines and stuff. I was in another company like where Maurice was and stuff, to where you couldn't cross that, right? Well, last night and stuff, I was talking, and Leland was there, and he brought something out that he was telling some of the people and stuff, how he suggested stuff. And he said to get your 3-way call on the phone, then bring your person in and have it already ready. Hey, I've got my partner here. So I put down notes on that. I'm just like, I just love the camaraderie that's inside this company, and the family that we're all one, and we want to help everybody succeed. So
Absolutely. You know, Paul Tyra always says that if you get us excited, but you don't train us, you frustrate us. So David, I know that you come and you're very disciplined in coming home and collecting your thoughts and writing them down. It's so important to write them down, because that feeling will leave you. And so you have to capture it on paper, as Rosemary Skinner said from stage. Don't just keep it in your mind, write it down. So David, did you come away with a plan? Do you have a direction? Do you have a goal? Is ASCENT on your map? What are some of the things that strategically you're going to do with the information that you learned?
Sure, absolutely. A sense on my map. I was able to enjoy that a few years ago and have not been able to go back since. And I walked away with, okay, now we have yet another set of tools and another mindset and another set of skills really to get out and share this. So on the plane on the ride home, and I had an early AM flight, which I need to be on a 4:47 AM train to the airport. So I was up pretty early, didn't get much sleep, but the first thing I did when I got on the plane was I made a list of all the things that I were kind of top of mind that I wanted to do. And at the top of it, I wrote the word promises to myself. These are the things I'm going to promise to do to myself, for myself. I got introduced to Ed Milet a few months ago. And he says self-discipline is the process of keeping the promises you make to yourself. So I wanted to make sure that this list was doable, psychologically doable, as Tyler says, but I wanted it to be comprehensive. So I have everything in here other than I'm making a little daily promise list. These are the things that I'm going to do daily, not only for me, but for my business. I'm going to go through and copy all the different quotes that Tyler shared. Those are all social media content that I can use. I've learned some things through one of the fireside chats related to how to message people through social media. I'm taking a lot of time this week prepping for the app launch next Monday. I want to be ready to go with what I'm going to put in my site, how I'm going to utilize that. And I'm also going to go out to everyone that I'm already a customer with, already working with, and resend them a resource from there and say, hey, we just have this new tool. Would you take a look at this and see what you think? Something related or something unrelated. So those are just, 3 or 4 of probably 20, 25 different things that I've put on here. I have little boxes here. I'm going to check each one of these off. And my plan is to be able to check almost all these off within the next week before the app comes out. And be ready to go with, my updated wording, my updated content, what I'm going to be doing. And at the same time, I've got a couple of one-on-ones set up for tomorrow already, planning to continue to work this week. I'm not taking this week off of talking to new people. As you said with Mark, time is of the essence. If I don't do my job, people suffer. So I'm going to do the best I can with who I am in the moment, but I'm, constantly working on making sure I don't go to Texas and then leave what I learned in Texas.
Absolutely. Now,
Not implement it.
you have had some life enhancements lately. You got married a week or 2 ago. And so did you come home and share any of this with your wife?
I did. We did a little, I guess, a recap. And I did get married last week. We did not go on a honeymoon, so for a variety of reasons, we're saving that for another time. But it's interesting, and I've always had my heart in ASEA, but I think when you have somebody else important in your life, with that status of being married, I think things change very dramatically, because my mindset was different there this time. And I came home thinking, okay, what are you going to do with all of this that you've been gifted with? And I learned about ASEA in 2010. I've been around for a long time. My business has gone up and down and bounced and rebuilt a few times. And for the first time in a long time, I feel like my why is at yet another level. And that is propelling me towards, the how and the who I need to be to show up to make this happen.
That's wonderful. Well, I'm sure that I will see you and your wife in Puerto Rico. So I'm excited for that. So
Thank you.
Anyway, Peg, we're coming down. We've only got 5 more minutes. We're going to try to get through you and Sean and Maurice, but you are the queen of putting together a plan for Ascent. And so I know you probably in a minute or 2 can't capsulize the whole thing, but if you could just give people a couple coaching tips of what you do to win the Ascent trip. I mean, you've won every trip. So talk a little bit about how you do that.
The company has laid out a map for us, really, and they've done something really special this year. They've given us 2 tracks to get there. And so to look at those tracks, and for me, I determined which one I'm shooting for to begin with. And then I'm going to create, I just got home today. I'm going to go ahead and create a thermometer, basically a map and a plan. I love Ascent because it gives you a map. And so you can track where you're at and what you need to get done. And I do it in reverse. So if I need to have 18 points or 8 points, then I'm going to put 18 and go in the reverse order so that once I get down to, oh, I only need 2 more points, I know exactly what I have to do. And that will be determined by where you are in your rank. So it's a personal thing, right? And I know that if you're not understanding the map, you can talk to your upline and they will help you understand and help you create that map. But I post it where I can see it. I keep it on my computer. I look and see where I'm at. So the Ascent is a map to get to where you want. And one of the best tools we've got to get you there is fast forwards.
Absolutely. Fast forward after fast forward after fast forward. And I know that I'm going to see you and your partner in Puerto Rico is it in May? Are those the dates?
Yes, it is.
May 1 through 5?
1 through 5.
1 through
Yes.
5 in Puerto Rico. Fantastic. I've never been to Puerto Rico, so I'm excited. Sean, tell us, are you planning on being in Puerto Rico in May?
Of course, I've never been there, so I'm motivated to go.
Yeah, so you and Yvette, I'm sure, will be there. I have to tell you guys something about Sean and Yvette Del Campo. If you look in your back office and you look at the top 100 recruiters in the world, you can set that on North America or whatever country you live in. But if you put it on global, you'll see that the name Yvette Del Campo, and they may have added Sean at this point. I'm not sure if it's just Yvette or if it's Sean and Yvette. I'm not sure. But anyway, they are the #2 recruiters in the entire world. And so they have learned to leverage the internet. And so this app that Peg was talking about is powerful, powerful, powerful. Whether you're recruiting people to want to build a business or bringing customers on who simply want to buy products. So yeah, make sure that you check out the app. And Maurice, are you going to be in Puerto Rico? Yep. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm planning to be there.
Excellent. So you get together with your upline leader, map out a plan. And, it's one thing to put your goals down. I love what David said about make promises to yourself. Goals kind of come and go and they're kind of dry and kind of analytical. When you make yourself a promise, I bet you're more likely to keep it. So write down some promises that you're going to make to yourself, and maybe Puerto Rico includes that, or maybe it doesn't on your map. This is your business. You take 100% responsibility. And if you want help with your business, I recommend you reach out to your upline. So don't wait for people to call you. Don't wait for, we're independent contractors and we're taking 100% responsibility for our own team. Leaders provide spillover to their team by sponsoring more than 2 people, and followers expect spillover. They sit there and pray and make vision boards and do affirmations. But if you don't do the work, your business isn't going to grow. So you have to get out there. You have to do it messy. You're going to mess up. You're going to blush. You're going to not want to do it. And if you do it anyway, amazing things will start to happen. And, Mike Saul used to say, the busier I am, the luckier I get. And there's a lot of truth to that if you just not be so selfish and think about me, and go back to what Mark Deck was talking about at the beginning of the call and think about we all the way home. You can go all the way to Puerto Rico. we all the way to Puerto Rico. So I thank you guys for joining us tonight. I know that everybody's exhausted from lots and lots of fun in Fort Worth, pickleball and all. So anyway, I thank you all for sharing your wisdom tonight. I encourage everyone that is on this call to get together with your active upline and put together a plan, because the Puerto Rico date is going to be here before you know it. Time is just cruising by. And so make sure it doesn't leave you behind. So Good night, everybody, and thank you.
Okay.